Your sales page call to action is where the buying decision process in marketing gets real, y'all. Your prospect has clicked through to your conversion landing page, and that future customer has just scrolled all the way down that sales page, and they're at the point that they'll either buy or not. All the sales page copywriting in the world will not help you if your call to action doesn't work. In this video, I'm going to help you create a persuasive, high-converting, effective call to action so that your sales conversion strategy actually works. In other words, I'm going to show you how to convince more of your prospects to click that big, beautiful Buy Now button so you make more sales. I'm Pamela Wilson, and I coach people in mid-career to build profitable online businesses. I'm so grateful you're here. Subscribe to my channel because I'm going to help you grow your online business in midlife. Look, you're not there to hold the hand of your prospect and walk them through your sales process. That is the job of your sales page. And as a wise sage once said, a confused mind doesn't buy. That's why it's crucial to have a call to action that is simple, clear, and convincing. And as in all things online marketing, there are really two aspects to think about: the words and the graphics. Your call to action copy or words and your call to action design. In this video, I'm going to look at both of those and share tips for how to make them both work better for you. By the way, if you are looking for help with your online business, I want to recommend that you take my online business assessment at PamelaWilson.com. It is free, and you'll pinpoint your priorities and get free training from me as soon as you take the assessment. That's PamelaWilson.com, and the online business assessment is right on the homepage. Let's start with call to action copy tips. The most important thing to keep in mind when it comes to the text of your call to action, or CTA for short, is that you want it to be short and clear. This is not the time to use clever wording or to beat around the bush. Your call to action should literally call the person to take an action right now, not later. Don't ask a question. Word your CTA as a command. For example, don't say, "Ready to start earning more in your current job? If so, here's where you can take the first step and join our 30-day program." No. That's starting with a question. That's way too many words. It doesn't sound decisive. It doesn't sound like a command. Instead, you want to say, "Earn more in your current job. Join." Let's talk about call to action design tips. When it comes to designing your call to action, this is a place where you want to forget your brand colors and you want your call to action to actually stand out from the rest of the page. So to do this, you want to add white space around your call to action, make your text bold and clear, and make it stand out. Let's talk about your call to action button copy. Most calls to action include some kind of button, and I want to take just a moment to talk about the copy that should be on that button. The best advice I ever received about what to write on your call to action buttons was from copywriter Joanna Wiebe. Joanna says that your button copy should fill in this blank. "I want to blank." Whatever words would go in that blank go on your button. So imagine that you are your prospect and you're saying, "I want to blank." Following the example I gave you earlier, if the call to action says "earn more in your current job, join," then you want your button to say "I want to blank," and that button might say "I want to earn more now." Let's talk about call to action button design tips. I want to remind you that your button design should stand out from the rest of your page. So make the button nice and large and bright and in a contrasting color. Your call to action button is not a place to be shy about your design choices. Think of it a little bit like a carnival barker who's vying for your attention over the noise all around them. Be loud and proud and call on your customer to click. Let's talk about a sales page element that's often used in the call to action section, which is called the pricing table. Pricing tables appear in the section where you're asking your prospect to buy, and oftentimes you see these when there are two different price points for the offer. The features of the offer are listed again on both sides, and the price is listed so that you're buyer can decide to make the purchase at the price point that they prefer. Now, a really excellent way to display a pricing table for a product or a service that has more than one price point is to create columns that list everything that's included at each price point. Give each price point a distinct name. A very simple way to do this would be to say one price point is regular and the other is VIP, for example, or you could have bronze, silver, and gold levels, or you could simply give them an aspirational name like starter pack and advanced level. Give some thought to this because giving your price point a name will get people excited about investing. Pricing table design tips include things like showing that name. You want to list that name at the top, and then you want to add all the features that are included in each of the price points. Now, this is important. When you list features in each column, you want to add the additional features to the bottom of the column that has more features, your higher priced option. That's going to be a visual representation of the fact that the higher price point includes more things. This is what that looks like. Now, it's really smart in your call to action to include a regular price and then the actual price that your customer will pay. This is called using anchor pricing. And don't be afraid to use it. Give people a higher regular price and then show them that they don't need to pay that much. And one way to do this visually is to add a strike through on the regular price and to bold or highlight the actual price to make it stand out. I hope these call to action examples were helpful. When it comes to a sales conversion strategy, it pays to spend some extra time on your call to action. Unfortunately, a lot of people get tired by the time they get to this part of creating their sales page. So I recommend, if you have to, that you take a break or create your call to action on a separate day so that you can really give it your full energy and attention. Use your sales page call to action to market that final sale and get the conversions your offer deserves. And if you're working on creating high converting sales pages, be sure to watch the videos in this playlist next.